Welcome to the Militia Gaming community. I'm Trigger, and I'm here to tell you Unbound's building meta is changing. Let's go! Real quick before I get into the video, if you're looking for any of my builds, you can go to my website, that's militiagamingco.com, click on builds, and then go to the game that you're looking for. I've got builds for both Need for Speed Heat and Unbound. Alright, let's get into this. So Need for Speed Unbound's handling model and driving physics have greatly impacted players' abilities to properly build cars. The reason is because as your driving skills increase, you can build each car to complement your strengths. Basically, if you are more comfortable drifting most turns, you will run faster times than if you grip them, and thus you will need to build your car with drift in mind. But just because you are faster while drifting does not mean that your car is faster while drifting. If you take that same car and build it for grip and give it to a player who is more comfortable with grip racing, he might beat you because that car is actually better suited for gripping and can be raced faster that way. Just not with you behind the wheel. So with that in mind, the building meta of the Need for Speed Unbound community has already gone through several changes and is starting to do it again because players are getting faster and figuring out better ways to optimize the cars for their increased skill. The first meta was a little all over the place. A lot of the lower tier cars featured builds that had great speed off the line and could drift corners. Builders were optimizing for acceleration and drift. Then when the community started to increase their skill and understanding of the game mechanics, builds switched to optimizing grip and cornering ability. Then it changed again when some builders found out that you could use lower gearboxes to reduce the PI rating, thus giving you more points to dump into the power and torque of the engine, all while maintaining great grip. This mostly came at the cost of top speed though, so the community decided it would build two different cars, one optimized for short track and one optimized for straight tracks. And that's basically where the meta sits right now for most builds out there. But there's one more change about to happen, and this will be one of the last times the building meta changes, although we might get one more iteration after this. Players are starting to realize that 100% grip and great handling is not always necessary, particularly in the lower 3 tiers, and so you can reduce some of the chassis and suspension parts, which frees up PI rating to once again dump into the engine's power and torque. This makes for a more unstable car, but like I said at the beginning of the video, players will build based on their driving skill levels, and the top players are starting to improve yet again, which means they can handle more power and less grip. We are heading towards completely maximizing the speed of the car and making up for the lack of handling with our skill. And that's exactly where the end will be. Until we get there, the builds you are using right now may just be irrelevant in the near future. Bottom line, don't fall in love with the builds you have right now, as the meta will likely keep shifting until the top players have squeezed every 100th of a second out of these races. It's what they do. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about this, and shout out to all the Heat 5 members of the channel. I really appreciate you supporting the channel, as it is how I make my living. It means everything to me. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.